Over the course of the last year or so, I've made a bunch of workbench builds that all feature drawers in them. And they all work great. They can open, they can close, and you can put stuff in them. But there is, of course, a problem. Drawers are notorious for becoming disorganized, space wasteful, and often it's where things go to get lost or forgotten. So in this video, I'm going to be tackling this problem head on by making some custom storage solutions for my drawers. And all of this made on my AlgoLaser Delta. In part 1, we explored and unboxed the AlgoLaser Delta, and I got up to speed with its features and setup. In this second part, I'm going to now take what I've learnt and put the Delta to work, solving some annoying workshop storage issues around my drawers. For this project, I'm going to be using 3 and 6mm MDF. I've got a ton of offcuts and scraps floating around the shop, and this will be a perfect project to use it all up. What I'm doing here is masking off the bottom of the panels with tape, and the reason for this is that I don't currently have a honeycomb spoiler platform. The honeycomb platform raises the workpiece off the surface and allows for smoke to dissipate from underneath when cutting. This stops or at least drastically removes most of the smoke damage that might occur if you otherwise don't have something like that. Now, I don't have a honeycomb board yet. I have ordered one and it is on its way. But in the meantime, I'll use the masking tape trick, and that should eliminate or remove most of the scarring or discoloration that occurs when you're cutting with a laser. Now, I want my boxes to fit exactly in the drawer space, so the first thing we'll need is to take some measurements from the sides and then of course front to back. Now, it's usually at this point that I'd be firing up my CAD software and spending an exorbitant amount of time designing my boxes and ensuring that my dimensions are spot on. However, recently a friend of mine told me about this amazing online resource that's used for generating templates for laser cutting boxes. Boxes.PY is an open source box generator that really does take all the hard work out of creating the perfectly sized box. All I need to do is punch in the dimensions of the box I want to make, enter in the thickness of the material, and the generator does the rest. It can even export your template directly to Lightburn to make things even easier. I'll leave a link to this tool in the description below. And within literally seconds, we have our fully fledged template ready to go out of Lightburn. So it's now time to fire up the Delta and cut some boxes. With our pieces now cut out, we now have to remove the tape. This process can be a little bit fiddly, but is easy enough to do. The tape's done a really good job of removing any staining caused by smoke. Having said that, I do strongly recommend as a long-term solution getting yourself a honeycomb platform. Now begins the fun part, which is assembly. The cutout on the laser gives us such a nice fit that glue is really not necessary here. So I'm just going to friction fit these all, and I'm going to persuade them to come together using a mallet. Now, I've gone for a tight fit here, but if you need or want some more wiggle room and a slightly looser fit, you can make those adjustments easily in the template software. Not bad at all. 1 down and 8 to go. After adding labels to all the boxes, it's now a simple matter of installing them in the drawer. And thanks to the power of editing, and there we have it. In relatively no time at all, we have our pocket screws all nicely sorted, and we've actually freed up a lot more room for more storage in the future. This turned out so well that I repeated this for my nail drawer. For the standard nails, I use the same box technique as before, but for the brad nails I decided to use a different template, and this one's designed for small parts. It's angled at the back and allows me to store the brad nails in a much more convenient way. Right, so now that I've done my pocket screws and my nails, so they're all sorted now, I'm going to move on to these top drawers. So these are the top drawers that sit in the top of the miter saw station. But as you can see, there isn't really any organization to them. So what I want to do now is to try and sort out this mess so that there's some sort of cohesion here, so it makes sense and is obviously much easier to use. So that's what we're going to do now, and I think I'm just going to use trays. So I'm just going to sort of organize this in a way that makes sense, and then make some trays that will fit and orientate in them. So let's go ahead and do that. It was at this point that something arrived in the mail that would make this whole project so much easier. The honeycomb platform has finally arrived, and that should mean no more masking tape. A quick test on the laser shows just how well it works. So back to the project, and for these top drawers I'm going to be using 3mm MDF. I think it's a better size for these drawers, and I have a bunch of it lying around the shop still. The other item I have a ton of around the shop is felt. I have a lot left over from the pool table build and other miscellaneous projects. Initially I was going to try and cut this out the old-fashioned way, but I quickly realized, hey, can't we just use the laser? So that's what I did, and the laser cut the felt absolutely no problem whatsoever. The end result is a fit that is millimeter perfect. And now it's time for perhaps the most satisfying part, the fit out. Each tray is millimeter perfect, and it's a level of accuracy that would probably be a challenge if it were not for the AlgoLaser Delta. And just for fun and contrast, I used a different coloured felt for each tray. And with that, this drawer is complete. Each tool has its own place now and is easily accessible. And all of this only took about 30 minutes on the laser. So now it's time to get on with the rest of the drawers. I really want to emphasize just how easy this process is when you're using the Delta. You only have to measure the space you want to fill. Then over at Boxes.PY, we click Boxes. We then enter in the width, length and height of the tray we want, and you save it as a Lightburn file. That's it. We then send it to the Delta for cutting. A few love taps with a hammer to assemble. And we now have our tray. The total time from when I measured to this point is not much more than 15 minutes. And of course we can't forget the felt. I've got to say that one of the most satisfying parts of this project are these piston friction fits. Okay, so here we go, and after a productive day of lasering, this is our net result. I've managed to redo all of these drawers, and I've actually freed up these 4 drawers here, or these 4 drawers here are now pretty much empty. So I really wasn't saving things or storing things very efficiently, but let's very quickly go over what we've got here. So this one you've seen already. This one's just got all my squares, measuring tapes, some miscellaneous stuff, bevel gauges, my calipers there. This one you've just seen me put in that drawer. So this one's just got some more squares and whatnot, but now things are easily accessible. I can pull them straight out, and when they go back, they're not going to be falling over each other or stacked on top of each other. So that's a plus. Obviously, we've got our pocket screw drawer, or screw drawer actually in general now. So it's not just pocket screws, but I did make one small change here. You'll notice is that I've actually made some half-sized containers. Again, all of these, easily take them out. I can move them over to the product or the project that I'm working on, use them, bring them back, and they slot right back where they came from. The third drawer, this is, again, more screws. So these are all empty. I've been able to save a lot of space, and I've actually been able to effectively replace all of at least 2 of these with one drawer, or 2 drawers, I should say, and I've still got all of this capacity left. And again, I can easily take these out when I need to use them, and then they can simply go back when they're no longer needed. The next drawer, yes, this one's for all of my nails. So I don't use a lot of nails or a bunch of nails, but I've got some more finishing nails and some other miscellaneous nails. I do use some brad nails. So I've got this in that special holder that I mentioned earlier on. And the final drawer that I'm kind of really proud of is this one. So this is just for Craig accessories and my pocket hole jig, and each individual container or drawer here is individually made. So this didn't take that long at all, and it was really easy. And just to show you how good the fit is, here's some Craig accessories that I've got here, and it fits really nice and snugly right here. So it really is very easy to use the Delta and the Boxes.PY website. So just by using that simple website, all you need to do, like I've said, punch in the coordinates of the size of the box, dimensions, length, width, height, and realistically, the laser does the rest of the work. So really easy to do, and a really quick project, actually. This is just a day's work, and we've really sorted out our workbench drawer situation. So there we go. In just one day, we've made excellent progress into solving some of my drawer storage issues. While I'm very confident I would have been able to replicate the same results without the Delta using, say, more traditional methods, there's no question whatsoever that this has been by far the quickest and easiest way to do it. These type of projects are the ones we tend to put off, not because we can't do them, but they take time away from doing the types of projects that we actually want to do. So having a machine like the Delta in your workshop could save you a lot of time that you could be better spent towards other projects. And it really has only been a short amount of time since you've seen me unbox this to where I'm standing today. So as a device, I have to be honest, the AlgoLaser here has kind of blown my mind. And I think I've only really started to scratch the surface of what this kind of device might unlock for future projects and builds in the workshop. The fact that we can go from unboxing to producing these kind of results in such a short time really demonstrates how more accessible the technology is becoming on a daily basis. If you're contemplating a journey into the world of lasers, then I can't speak highly enough of the AlgoLaser Delta. If you're interested in procuring your own AlgoLaser Delta, then there are affiliate links in the description below. I want to thank our sponsor AlgoLaser for giving me the opportunity to really delve into and discover this world of lasers. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this type of technology can unlock for future projects in the shop. I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's been watching over this past year. Your kind words, your encouragement, and your ongoing support has really inspired me to keep sharing this journey with you as I progress in the world of woodworking. I wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a safe and happy New Year. I can't wait to see you all again in the new year, and as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one. So to